Hamilton has also said that people should keep asking questions about 9/11 and that the debate should continue. Well, the only people responding to that are these gentlemen and the victims, some of the victims' families that are responding to that do want to see this continue and a dialogue and investigation take place. Senator Max Cleland, who lost both his legs in the Vietnam War, was appointed to the commission, declaring that it had been that the commission had been compromised and was a national scandal. America is being cheated, Cleland was quoted in Salon. The White House wants to cover it up. Well, many of us had that same sense, but when you have a person on the inside who's privy to the information, you now know that it's a little more than just wishful thinking. Commissioner Timothy Romer told CNN, "We were extremely frustrated with the false statements we were getting." Commissioner John Lehman told NBC Nightly News, "We purposely put together a staff that had conflicts of interest." Commissioner Bob Kerrey was quoted on Salon, "There are ample reasons to suspect that there may be some alternative to what we outlined in our version," which of course alternatives were never examined. Senior counsel for the 9/11 Commission, John Farmer, who led the staff inquiry, was quoted in the Washington Post, "I was shocked at how different the truth was from the way it was described. The tapes told a radically different story from what had been told to us and the public for 2 years." Current Republican Congressman Ron Paul joins his voice in calling the investigation fraudulent and a cover-up. You have also Congressman Dennis Kucinich, who's articulated this, and Senator Lincoln Chafee, a Republican of independent bent, endorsed a new 9/11 investigation. The former U.S. Congressman Dan Hamburg actually stated that the U.S. government assisted in the 9/11 attack, adding that, "I think there was a lot of help from the inside." These are responsible people, may have their prejudices and their biases, but it's nothing that one should discount when looking at the product of this investigation. The nonprofit organization NYC Coalition for Accountability Now, whose board includes 9/11 victim family members, is seeking a 9/11 investigation at the state and federal levels. Victims' family members, at whose insistence the 9/11 Commission was formed, have said that only a fourth of their well-researched questions were answered, and many of the rest of their questions were not even pursued by the Commission. For example, the collapse of the World Trade Center Building 7, which baffled engineers, and you'll hear more about that in this debate, was not even mentioned in the committee's report, the Commission's report. The 10,000 pages report by the National Institute of Standards and Technology, a government agency that is part of the Department of Commerce, explicitly avoided analyzing the behavior of the Twin Towers after the collapse began. The focus of the study was on how each tower became poised for collapse by the damage caused by the jetliner impact and resulting fires. On the assumption that those were the causes, no other hypothesis was brought about how these skyscrapers were brought down or discussed in the report. More broadly, when Colin Powell was trying to get the UN to authorize U.S. action to go after Osama bin Laden in Afghanistan, now mind you, this wasn't the appearance before the UN where he lied about the intelligence that we had. This was earlier. He promised to provide the evidence of al-Qaeda's involvement in 9/11, a white paper, which has never materialized. To this day, the FBI website does not list Osama bin Laden as being sought in connection with the 9/11 attacks, with its spokesman explaining that there is no hard evidence linking bin Laden to the attack. FBI Director Mullah admitted that not a single piece of paper linked the officially named suspect in the attack. So there appears to be some strong reason for revisiting the key issues surrounding 9/11. Today, we will be discussing in particular the events that led up to the greatest loss of life on 9/11. Not the jetliner impact and resulting fires at the World Trade Center, but rather the destruction of World Trade Center Twin Towers less than 2 hours later. We will also examine the mysterious complete collapse of Building 7. Engineers associated with the United States government blame the destruction of all three of these modern steel frame skyscrapers on the jetliner impact and fires. It is outlandish to doubt their conclusions, is it? Many people have doubts about the beginning. Over the year, a whole movement has arisen consisting of concerned citizens all over the world, the so-called 9/11 Truth movement. Movements like this start out because the government doesn't do its job, and so people thinking the worst then are abroad with all hosts of conspiracies. But that's not what this debate is about. We're talking about a body of people with the technology and the knowledge to deal with the specifics, not the political aspects of it, with the specific technical elements involved in the destruction of the Trade Center and Building 7. According to a Zogby poll in 2007, 51% of Americans questioned the official 9/11 account. Well, we're going to take our own poll right here, right now. And then after you've had a chance to see the argumentation on both sides, we'll take another poll. But right now, let me ask you 3 questions. One, and raise your hands after this. How many of you pretty much believe the official account of the high-rise collapses? That the planes impacted the buildings and there was a large explosion of jet fuel and ignition of fires, weakening the structural steel, and a gravitational collapse brought down everything to the ground. Raise your hands. Oh, okay, let me read the other 2 questions. How many are unsure? And about how many already believe that the Twin Towers were brought down by controlled demolition? First question. Now, how many pretty much believe the official account? Raise your hands. Wow. Well, she's not sure. Okay. Then the next, nobody's raised their hand that I can see. You got to vote, and nobody's voting. One in the back I can't see. Okay. Okay. The next one is, how many are you unsure? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Press TV doesn't count. Okay, got 4 or 5, right? Okay, and then the last one. How many already believe that the Twin Towers were brought down by controlled demolition? Well, we don't have to have the debate. It's already been settled. You want to count them all?
Yeah.
Okay, raise your hands and keep them up, because we do want to have a record of this.
Thank you. Thank you. Say thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. The nonprofit organization Architects and Engineers of 9/11, referred to as AE911Truth, has examined a great deal of evidence available in the public record, and has also concluded that the Twin Towers and the lesser-known World Trade Center Building 7 were destroyed by explosive controlled demolition. They have a petition that they've delivered to the Congress earlier this year. It has been signed by over 1,270 professionals, technical professionals, licensed and degreed architects and engineers, with well over 1,000, with well as thousands of additional supporters. And as was pointed out by Richard, Congress has not responded, even to the most recent information, has not responded at all or shown any interest at all in doing anything about this. Those that will be, and Richard also pointed out that there was 3 groups that were being formed as we speak today. One is military officers, the other is scientists, and of course actors and supporters like myself, who are not technicians, but have some sense of how the world works. The military officers, you've got Commander Ralph Kolstad and Colonel George Nels. The scientists are David Grissom, Lynn Margulis, and A.K. Doudney. The AE911Truth crossed the historic milestone of 100,000 people joining with their signature petitions on September 11, 2001. No, February, I don't see the date. February 19th is when they reached that threshold. On that day, they sent a petition to Congress, and of course, you've already heard that there was no response. To date, the AE911Truth is represented here today by 4 of its petition signers. These are gentlemen at the table. Richard Gage on my immediate left. Next is Tom Zambati, and then Tony. I'm sorry, I apologize. And the other gentleman is, Greg Roberts, who's took off for a moment here, and